I'm Joe Padula.
I'm Amber Markey.
I'm William Scott.
Yeah, William in the house today. And this is the local news you need to know. Absolutely. And make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the whole bits. Ah, yes. Special episode for the local news today. Yes, we got the Clarksville Speedway owner, Will Scogin. And the facts on the Clarksville buying the Speedway. A lot of nonsense out there. I'm glad that City Council, because Thursday, Amber Markey, you guys had a City Council meeting, and you guys got a chance to talk with William. And not for nothing, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's in here today. Well, I know your time is precious, so we're not going to waste much of it. But the mayor did call you the most interesting guy in all of Clarksville. I did hear that during the hearing.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, he's so. I did notice that DeJuan Little, Wallace Red, and Wanda Allen did not show up, and I hear tell it's because they're scared of you. Is that accurate?
That's not correct.
Okay, that's not. One of the falsehoods set aside.
Okay.
Why wasn't DeJuan there?
I don't know.
Love me some DeJuan.
It's a lot of holiday stuff going on.
Yeah, that's a good point, William. That's a good point.
All members are present with the exceptions of Councilpersons Little, Red, and Allen.
Yeah, because they were scared.
Mr. Scogin, you've been a very patient man for the last 4 years and for the last 30 minutes. If you would, please.
Sound like to me I left money on the table.
Well, you didn't hear any of that.
Now here's where she's. I could have rezoned this because I am paying commercial taxes now.
All right, before we get into this, let's just go to the headline real quick, all right? So the owner of the Clarksville Speedway wants to sell it to the city in a move that could gain North Clarksville a new park. Plus, what happened with the apartment tenants who had to scramble to recover their items after the tornado? Okay, yeah, it was a busy day Thursday for the city council. But, William, the plan to buy the Speedway, you wanted to sell to the city, not the other way around. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. Because I was reading some of these comments, which we'll get to later. They tried to shut it down a long time ago. I don't remember
I don't
them.
know if they shut it down. They was trying to get a curfew. They was trying to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
at one time we did try to go and get commercial versus agricultural, and they turned us down.
So right now it's on this agricultural.
Yes.
Oh.
But I am paying commercial property taxes.
Oh, that's not
I'm
fun.
the only one in Tennessee, in Clarksville, probably doing that. I don't know. Maybe there's others.
Uh-huh.
I don't have city sewer.
Huh.
I'm on septic tanks. There's a lot of things because it's been annexed in and all this other stuff. So
Right.
there's a lot of things there. Which I've done the phase 1 study. I've done everything. Everything's good, and me and the mayor's good. We have had a lot of talks about it.
That's
the
right.
problem is it's been mediocre talks. Like, so every time, and this is a key thing for me. Every time and I said it two or three times in a meeting, we have to have a fairgrounds. There's no sense of me letting go of this property if there's not a fairgrounds to do things for us in Clarksville.
What do you mean by fairgrounds? What would
Place
a
to do circuses,
Yeah.
fairs, mediocre stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's just a lot more going on besides racing at Clarksville Speedway. The Christmas lights and all that other stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff that people want to do. I get calls all the time about wanting to do things.
I bet. And you've been running the show for about 20 years?
20, I don't know, 22, 23.
Good for you. Good for you. Absolutely. All right, here let's get back to the city council meeting. You look good on camera, by the way, William.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. No sugarcoat. It's okay. It's okay. I just choose not to do that. So technically, you are buying a commercial piece of property as a agricultural price. And the way I say
could
choose,
have
I
come
didn't
a
go
long
back.
time ago.
I didn't go back and rezone it because I done got turned down once. So, but this is back when they was trying to get a curfew on us and all that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I was building a building. Actually, we had the building all the way done. They've inspected it like 30 times, and then the final inspector said I couldn't have the building.
Was that on the McMillan? When the,
No, you got to go back a little farther.
Piper?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was it was a bold move on his part. But
Uh-huh.
it's okay. I mean, and I like Johnny. I never
Yeah.
had a trouble with Johnny until this part come up. So
Right.
it was just one of those things that I was caught in the middle of. I think an agenda, what people wanted, versus what was going on. So it's just one of those things. Years, I could have rezoned it and been with what I've been paying, but I didn't. So you are getting the value. And I told Mr. Pitts when I met him, I know racing ain't gonna last forever. I understand that, but we still need a place to do fairs, circuses, stuff that the community needs to do. That was my biggest. I got a Christmas light show. I got $1 million in lights. I got to do something with that. I told him I did not have a problem. I did not want to sell it for houses. I wanted to help the city out. We, as a group, have to come together and make Clarksvillians. We don't have anything to do in this town much.
Justin Nichols in the comments makes a good point. They built houses around a speedway and then complained about the noise. Duh. You built them next to a speedway.
I mean,
right.
But the city council approved that.
Right.
So the city council is partly fault here.
Because those houses were approved around an agricultural zone,
Yes.
not a commercial zone.
Well, if you boil this all down, we can sit here and do politics all day long. I don't want to be a politician. If I want to be a politician, I'd be running for president.
Oh, do it.
You know,
I'll be
'cause
your VP.
Our country just sucks on this politics stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're divided. We don't need to be divided. We need to sit down and figure out what's best for what's going on. Not just throwing this stuff up. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years, working on this, and I still know no more today than I knew 4 years ago.
Listen to me. Vote Will Scogin. Okay, Will Scogin. He will make Clarksville great again.
No. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to do the right thing for the city.
You should run for mayor.
No.
I'll run with you.
No, I'm not running for
Okay.
mayor. I'm not running for any office.
I love it.
We still need to have a place to do that. So my main goal with him when we started talking about this is I'll be more than happy to do this. But we need a place to do the fairs, the circuses, the stuff for people to come and do. So as we go through this, I want everybody to keep in mind, we still need a place to do that. We're just not going to have the racing. And you're going to make a lot of people mad about this, or I am.
Yes.
And I've been trying to keep that down. That's why we didn't want.
You do have a large fan base.
I do.
yeah.
A lot of people love what you do over
do.
there.
But what my fan base is, look, I've been doing this all my life, racing. I don't know if I'm good at it. I don't know if I'm bad at it. I don't know what success is in our industry. I really don't. But if you look at the way things are, if you look at the way things are coming, sooner or later down the road, I'm not going to win these battles. So it's better for me to go out the way I think we need to go out and do things for the community than to be selfish and do it for myself.
Right.
Now, some people can argue, yes, you're being selfish on that, but no, I'm not being selfish. I just know if you take the speedway away, we have nowhere to do anything else. You are done with fairs. You're done with circuses. You're done, unless you set it up in a parking lot where it's not controlled,
Yeah.
like we had it at the mall.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
What a
So,
disaster.
And I think there should be some. I mean, whether I do the fair or I took the fair over from the JCs when the JCs had no place to do it. They come to my place for 2 years. They couldn't do it. They just said, "Hey, you can have it." So I've been doing it ever since. I think it's 8 years now, 9 years. I don't know how many years it is. I'm not one that goes back on history like that. But
and not for nothing, and you don't have to answer or anything, but I am sure there have been offers on that land from private organizations and businesses.
I had a guy call me the other day and wanted to do it. That's beside the point.
Right.
I could probably make more by selling it that way, but that's
Absolutely.
not the issue. The issue is I'm still a Clarksvillian. I still want things to go on here. I still, whether I do it, somebody else does it. I mean, of course, I would be the one doing it if I have to go build a place to do it, but I'm not going to take my money and go build a place to be told what to do on. So it all has to work out. It all has to be done with that. That's the problem with government. We all can't sit in a room and decide what's going to happen in our own county. Y'all can't sit together and go, "Hey, this is what's best for us." I don't understand that. Maybe I don't know of a business deal that you can't sit down and discuss what's going to happen, but y'all cannot until you get in this room and it's all hostile. then you got all these other people over here that's wanting y'all to fight.
That's right. That's right.
Which is plumb stupid.
Oh, and that's exactly what they want. They want a wrestling match.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I don't want that. I just want to do the right thing and move on to the next thing.
Yes, sir.
And just to add to that, it was brought up at City Council a couple months ago to try to change that with the legislative agenda, but the residents kind of took it the wrong way and thought that we were just trying to do things in the dark and line our pockets instead of actually talk to each
Absolutely
other.
will not work that way.
And-
There's too many of y'all involved.
Yeah,
I mean, it won't.
Yeah.
The only way to get anything done in a business deal, and that's what these all are, is business deals, is to be able to sit and talk about
Yeah.
it instead of in a hostel where you got to be. I mean, your committee meetings are fine, you know, but you got to be able to. This is a different deal than anything on the table right now. I think we all can agree to that.
Absolutely.
This is different than anything you're probably going to run across in a
Yeah.
little while on a city council.
Yeah.
So it should be handled different.
Yeah.
And we should be able to sit down and say, hey, this is what we need. This is how we need to get here. And this is how we're going to get here. Not instead of coming to me saying, hey, we're just going to buy you, blah, blah, blah. Because, again, the first time I seen all that drawing, that's the first time I seen it was Thursday night. So
Because
you're
you
telling me
avoid
wanna do
social
this?
media and
I do. I don't get on a lot of stuff.
smart move.
Look here, they're going to dog. You got people out there that don't have a clue, and you got weekend warriors. They don't have a clue.
They've been trying to shut down the speedway for years. I guess if they can't do it one way, they'll do it another. See
That's
right.
false.
That's
That is
false.
They have not been trying to set me down. They
Fake
haven't-
news.
This is all me going to them saying, hey, I think this would work better.
Yeah, that's right.
Granted, I might be the biggest dumbass in the country right now, but
I don't think
the
so.
point being is that I don't think about this just for me. I think about it for Clarksville and everything we had going on.
Uh-huh.
I've lived here all my life. I know what the industry, my industry does. I know how it works. I know how this goes, but I know also the fair industry. I know the circus industry. I know all these industries because I've been a part of them for so long now. I go to all these meetings around the country. My winter time is full of me going here, going there, talking to people, doing things. So it's not just about me. It's not just about the city council, not the mayor. It's about the whole city and us coming together to have a place to do things, because I do not want to see this go away, because the minute it goes away, we're never going to get it back.
And in North Clarksville in general, the land is becoming extremely scarce, at least a lot this size.
Well, believe it or not,
Yeah.
4 years ago, I told him the piece of property we should buy to do a fairgrounds. I told him the piece of property that I would buy if he didn't want to buy it. And
Where was
we
it?
talked. I cannot tell you that. But
Oh.
What
we
does
have
it rhyme
talked
with?
about this. I'm just saying that we have talked about this, but yet
Yeah.
we have to come up with a game plan, because I really do. If 2 years I'm gone, there's just going to be nothing to do.
No.
And I don't think any of us really want to see that, because, you know.
No.
What-
And I do get complaints about that there's nothing to do in North Clarksville.
But
in
also, when I
general.
do it, nobody
Yeah.
supports me. I don't get the city support. I don't get this support. I don't get that support. So, hey, I try.
William, you got our support, the people
Okay,
support.
Yeah, okay.
You do, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do what I can. I really do. I mean, you know.
What about those who address the complaints, the complaint about need more road?
I'm sorry, what?
You know, the ones that say, "Oh, but need more road." It's
yeah,
its
it's-
name is what it is. It needs more roads.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's one of the things that people want. They want the roads to be widened, but in the same breath, they don't realize that in order to widen the roads, that means we also have to take people's land to do that.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it, but then when that process starts, then people get mad. Why are you taking people's land? Do you want the road widened?
Right. What do you want?
It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways, unfortunately.
Justin Nichols, a racing fan, asks if we turned it into a fairground, can the track stay for races? I think that's up to the city at that point if the deal goes through, right?
Well, the racing's not going to last forever. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, at the casino, they do the horse races in Oak Grove, right?
Yeah.
I gave them a great idea. They turned it down. So they do these carriage races, you know, the horse and carriages. I said, I think we should incorporate our Mennonite community and do the Mennonite races. I would pay money to see that. And the womenite races, too.
Okay.
Just to keep the racing people on track.
Uh-huh.
There is talks, some other stuff. I am in talks with other people to do other things. Just don't panic.
Stay tuned.
Don't panic. Don't do dumb things. Don't just, you know, whether it happens, whether it don't, whether I'm a part of it, whether I'm not. You know, it is what it is. So I am not really per se trying to do this to do anything wrong. I'm really trying to do it to think about the future, to think about how things are done around here and all that. It's just not about me. It's about all of us. So, you know.
Makes sense. I love it.
I'll let this out on everybody because my base is going to be pissed when this happens. And there's nothing I can do about
Right,
it.
as we
I
just-
am getting older, and I do work 8 days a week. You may not be able to figure that, but I do. I got so much work to do now, it ain't funny, but that is one.
How do you get the energy?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I ask myself all the time at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm
Right.
still going, and most people ain't even thought about waking up. You know, I'm thinking about going to bed.
And you're not a coffee drinker.
I do not drink coffee. I don't really drink a lot of, you know, I call when I go out. Now, when I do some of these trips, they are drink fest. That's beside the point.
Oh, we should go on a drink fest.
Drink fest 2023 is over.
Let's do 2024.
That's next year.
That's next year.
That's towards the end, or this year towards the end.
Absolutely.
One thing, but I'll let y'all answer any. I'll answer any questions you got.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scogin. Councilperson Reynolds, you're recognized.
My husband will be one of the ones that will be upset, just for the record. He loves racing and he
I'd be remiss if I didn't get the opportunity. Okay, I don't think her laptop should be a billboard of political statements, but that's okay. That's all right. If I run for downtown Ward 6, I'll have plenty of stickers of my own on my
Oh
laptop.
my goodness.
he is always appreciated. So I just wanted to say that. But I also wanted to say that I understand
And this might be a paid endorsement by Coke. Just saying.
Oh.
Just saying with Karen. Okay.
the value, ag, and all that. I'm just concerned of when you look at the numbers and when you look at this for residents asking the question. And as long as we have the documentation of the why and how and crossing our, showing them why and how we did it, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just concerned that we're not necessarily doing our due diligence for 5 years, 10 years. When
Karen,
they
get to
come
the
look at
point.
it.
When
Does that
I-
make sense? For the public.
Right.
I'm the public looking in.
Right. So here's another thing that the mayor brought up too, that it is a business there. And I did an evaluation of the business when I come back with this. So the land appraised for one thing, but remember, I can't pick this up and move it anywhere. I am done. And I have 5 businesses there that are done. I mean, honestly, so you got to take that. Let me explain that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I look at the drag strip as one business, the dirt track is another
Okay.
business. I also have a parts business that is tied to racing. That's 3. I have the fair,
Yes.
and I have the Christmas lights, and I also have
Great
a
job with the
trophy
lights, by the
business.
way.
Actually, I could actually come up with more businesses.
it.
So I look at each one of these as a different deal. I also have an event center that I rent out. So really, that's about 7. But there's going to be 5 of them you can't do anything with that are done. I mean, ain't like I can pick them up. And if you got to buy a house, you can go buy another house. I can't.
Yeah, you can't pick up this house and bring
And
it somewhere
if
else.
I was to go try to build this, it's a $10 million facility to start with. And then all the other headaches you got. So when I say that, I'm literally telling you that, look, a lot of these things are done. They're not going to come back.
He said it.
Yeah,
He
so
said it.
some people have been talking about, well, maybe he can just move to the county or something.
No,
and
because here's the
yeah.
next
Could you
problem.
imagine the cost of moving all of that?
You can. I mean,
Yeah.
all right. I'm telling you, I can't do it for $10 million.
Right.
And that's why this is and I know the racing community. Look, it is what it is. We're not. I'm not sugarcoating it. I am 50. I thought I was 58, but the wife told me I'm 57.
You look good.
So
you
in
look
2
young.
years, I'm gonna be 59.
Yeah.
60, whatever. I mean, I'm telling you, and y'all, when I say 8 days a week, I add up the hours I work. Of course, you text me at 9:30. I was already up. I got
Yeah,
up
that's
at
right.
8:30. So 8:30, just figure 8 to 3 or 4 in the morning every day. Unless I physically can't do it, which is very few times, or I physically just are sick, which I try not to get sick much, but there's just not enough time for one person, and I don't like relying on other people to do things. I have a hard time. My help is good. Matter of fact, I appreciate everything they do for me, but there's nobody going to do what I do and how I do it.
That's right.
They're not going to. They can't run side by side with me on most things. I mean, I'm either building a trophy or building a Christmas light or working on a racetrack or on a grader, on a sheep's foot, on a tractor, on the backhoe, picking up trash, cooking hamburgers, cleaning toilets. I mean, I can go down a list. It doesn't matter. Somebody has to do this.
How vital is your wife in all of this?
She sits on a couch and plays. Never mind.
I love it.
Oh, I'm just messing with you.
Where'd you guys
She
meet,
does,
by the
she
way?
does. Rafferty's.
Rafferty's. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So it's she does help a lot. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
of
mean
course,
It, I don't
of
mean
course.
it that way, but I'm not saying she does everything I say she should do.
I love it. I love it. You got to bring her in here. We got to ask questions. We'll play the not so newlywed game with you
We
too.
don't do that. We don't do that much. Consideration with this also. I know nobody probably thinks about that, but I have to think about it. So I can't just pick this up and move it to a new location. It's not going to happen.
No.
So
Right.
that is one problem with this thing too that you got to think about. And if somebody comes and says something about it, I mean, you can use that because you can buy a new house.
Oh, there it is. Right.
I can't buy a new speedway. I can't build that facility right there for under $10 million anywhere in the United States right now. So
That's so true. It's so true.
yeah,
I'm just wanting to do the homework
I
and the
got
due
you.
diligence.
I understand.
Just
Truly
so you,
understand.
Yeah.
For the record, Karen said a bunch of words but said nothing. Right. Just for the record.
This is all show and tell anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Person
Yes.
Smith for
yes.
Mr. Scogin.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, sir, for coming forward.
Here comes a real actress, by the way. And hey, these are just my own views and beliefs. Anyone involved on this show right now, this is not their views, but get ready for some acting.
Share with us why you want to sell it and how you want to help the city. We
Well, I
appreciate
don't want to sell
that.
it. I just want to do what's right for the city.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
you
look,
gotta
there's
feel
Amber.
it,
But I will,
but you
because I
gotta
think it's right.
Oh, okay. So we're not buying the land. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're buying it.
Oh, okay.
You're buying it.
So I said you're gonna sell it,
Yes,
right?
I done signed a
Oh,
commitment.
okay.
I signed a commitment. We're doing it.
Oh, okay. That's what I. Okay. I hope I heard
Look,
you
it's
right.
going to be a good day.
It's nice to see her without her mask on, though.
Okay.
The big diaper that she usually wears. Right.
When I get the check, but a bad day when I got to leave.
Well, I'm a.
So
Ain't
I
that
don't
the
really know
truth?
how this is going to work out.
My question to you. I don't know if I should ask you this or.
Look, Justin
ask me
Nichols.
anything.
Oh,
Okay.
my, no
You
mask.
say so. Here it goes.
Come on with it.
Okay, you in this contract part, it says something about the seller is only offering to the city
Yeah, she didn't
at
understand
Clarksville
the
at this time a
contract
2-year
or
buyback.
What is
Well,
being proposed?
Yeah.
Well, actually, honestly, the commitment was written wrong.
Okay.
It was just she is right. The way it was written was
Uh-huh.
kind of right. It's not a
Okay.
big deal. I didn't look at it as a big deal. I knew going in what it is, and I knew when it comes to contract time, we can change what we need to change to make the language right.
Okay.
So the commitment was kind of just, and I said something to my people about it, but we didn't worry about it because it's a commitment for, I think, 90 days, and I think the 90 days is up. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the commitment. But again, that wasn't my intent. I knew going in because the first talk about it was 3 years, 6 months. 3 years to do, 6 months to get out. So that was it. But when he come back this last time and said, hey, I need 2, blah, 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 I said, okay, I understand that. So that's why the 2 years, 6 months clause was in there. But
Okay.
she is right. The way it was worded was kind of a little different, but it doesn't change my way of knowing. I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was signing something for the end. I was signing something to say, hey, listen, we're going to move forward with this.
Yeah.
And let y'all do your due diligence, and me too. So
So there's actually 3 options up on the table. One is the option land acquisition. That's about $4 million, and then the land acquisition with everything else that's going to go on it. That's about $7.1 million. The third option is no deal at all. What happens if there's no deal at all?
well, I think there will be a deal.
Okay.
We just have to make sure that I get what I need too.
That's right.
Honestly, it's not. Well, I should say the city gets what they need.
Yep.
Whether I do it or whether they do it, we have to come up with a way. Now,
Yeah, but you can't take a huge loss.
I'm not. And at the 7, well, the way I come up with the 7 is, first of all, that's what they put back. Second of all my evaluations, when I did and trust me, I hate appraisers. They are some of the dumbest people in the country, if you want my opinion. And I don't mean that bad. I'm just saying you can appraise 2 different things and come up with 2 different figures. I don't understand this process when I have a fully operating business
Yeah.
and you're treating me like a field. how can you even concept that? I said, go back and put the houses on there, then treat me like that.
Right.
Don't treat me like an empty field.
Like, look at the size of this acreage and that value, that area. I mean, you're absolutely
This
right.
was the hardest thing to come up with, is what I felt was fair versus what actual is. And I'm sure we can have people argue this till we're blue in the face, because really what's fair is what you can get out of it. If I wanted $100 million and I could only get $50 million out of it, well, guess what? $50 million is what it's worth.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you talk about values and you talk about this, I looked at what we do and how we do it and where we was and at the time what it is. So that's how the evaluation of that come up with. And I didn't want to overstretch the city. I don't think I should. But now, at this $7 million, am I going to have to go build a fairgrounds?
Right.
Well, that's probably not enough. If you're going to go build one and we're going to work out that way, yeah, that's probably enough. But, you know, I just think that's why I said the whole problem with city government, you can't sit down and come up with a game plan. It's just 4 years and we're no farther. The only thing is we do have a price, and we do. And I am willing to do this. I am not going to back up.
I'm glad we're at
I'm
this point
worried.
already.
So my point being is that we still have to, and I've said it every meeting, every time I've been somewhere, we have to figure out what else to do when I'm gone.
What is that?
That's not a buyback, it's a lease back. We'll purchase the property, then Mr. Scogin will lease the property back from the city for $1 a year to operate and phase out his businesses that are.
And $1 a year, that's illegal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of also what we do with the Roxy.
Oh, okay.
They rent
Got
cars for $1 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
operating
Okay,
there.
that's what the phase.
It's not a
out. The
buyback.
buyback after we have purchased
Yes.
this and set it up.
Yeah.
The 5 lanes and the amenities. You're not talking about buying that back, right?
No.
The only thing smart on this table is this water.
Yeah.
No offense, Amber.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
gonna
just
be
wanna
out
make
in
sure.
I think it's 2 years, 6 months.
Well,
So
2
that's
years
why
from the
it's 6.
closing of the
Because
deal.
we
From the close.
originally talked about 3 years, and the mayor come to me and said, listen, I really need him too. I said, hey, I understand.
Okay.
So 2 years, and I didn't, we didn't
When,
change
when,
anything.
when would a vote be on this, Amber?
On
Do you-
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So a vote on Thursday decides on whether or not to make the purchase happen?
I believe it's to officiate the negotiations,
Oh,
to have
okay.
it on paper,
Yeah.
and then I guess whatever they negotiate
Right.
would start taking place there.
Oh, that'd be great.
That was my
We're good, we're
concern
good,
about this contract.
The sooner the better.
It's just I
wanna
get
make
2
sure.
years to do what I do now.
Oh, to get.
Because again, here's the problem with fairs and all that stuff. The power for everything to
Right.
go on. So
Absolutely.
we, as a group, we talked about this. We need to find a place, whether I build a new place for just a fair or fairgrounds or whatever, we need to do this. And it takes time because these, you just,
Your electric bills, too. I can't even imagine.
I don't even look anymore.
Jeez.
I get robbed on that deal too.
I
Don't
can't
get me
even
started
imagine.
on that.
Okay.
It's okay.
Oh, maybe later.
Can't
Maybe
get a
later.
fair to come through. You have to have it. So I feel our city is in desperate need of stuff like circuses and fairs.
And you don't have sewage.
No,
it's
I'm on
all-
septic tank. I got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Dude,
3 or 4
Well-
septic tanks.
dude, I'm sorry. Go
I
on.
was gonna say, well, many years ago, that was technically county.
It was.
So-
St. Bees?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
annexed
Yeah.
in, yeah. It was a
So-
gravel road back in the day.
Really?
I mean, I can remember back this far.
Wow. Yeah. So there's a lot of portions of county that don't have sewage. They have septic. So it's interesting that they didn't upgrade though.
It's all
Or
around
that
me.
they didn't.
They
Yeah, it's
just
all
wanted
around
to
you,
charge
yeah.
me a lot of money to hook up.
Oh.
Wow.
And it was not the city; it was individual people doing it that
Oh,
does
at
it.
the
Because
time.
the city don't do it; the city takes it over after the contractors do it.
Yeah.
Chris Early says, I used to work there hauling the cars off of the track. Miss doing that.
Oh.
Aw. Will, I stand with you. Let's build a track out in
Okay.
Woodlawn off of 79. Oh, boy.
And all this other stuff.
Yeah, you know what? We should build it around the dump. I would go pay money for that. I would.
We need that for our community to do it.
Well, I could say that Nemo Road has been complaining. The people out
Trust
there
me,
should
I
be
know. I
complaining.
get
And
the officers call me and
and I mean, so I think this is going to be a great thing for that area.
Do you get a lot of those in the past?
I
The
get
noise?
complaints about everything. I said,
Yeah.
listen, you know, there's, I answer a lot of different ways, and some of them are not appropriate.
What do they complain? What do they call the cops on you for?
They call the cops on me on everything. It don't matter what it is.
Noise,
I'm okay with that.
traffic.
I imagine noise number one,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you know, whether it's noise, whether it's the traffic block, whether it's
Oh,
this,
yeah.
whether it's that.
They call the cops on you for traffic.
They call the cops on everything.
That's amazing.
If I look wrong, they call the cops.
Let's see. Will the general public have a say on Thursday, Amber? Is that a
I don't think so.
okay?
That's not part of the public
Right.
discourse. I mean,
They had time on Thursday for public.
The public has had a say in this the whole time.
Yes.
All they had to do is never ever leave the place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I make trillions of dollars, and I wouldn't be doing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I love it. Here, let's go back
We
to.
do need some amenities out there for the families and children and school children. I think this is a great thing, and I will be voting in favor of this, and thank you for allowing this
Yes,
to
ma'am.
happen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
There you go.
Councilperson Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you. I said I was talking
Stacy.
earlier, so I wouldn't talk now, but I do have to take the moment to say
So you can never trust Stacey Streetman because she roots for these things called the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay. And as a New York Mets fan, I'm sorry, Stacey.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
also say thank you for doing this. I understand where you're coming from as far as talking about your base being upset.
Oh yeah.
My dad raced on that track. He raced on the drag strip. He raced on that track,
Rest in
and then
peace.
I grew up going to the track with him and watching racing. So I understand, but I also hope they kind of think of it from the same angle as what I said, is that this is still going to be something for families to be able to enjoy.
I agree with Stacey 100%. I disagree with her hanging up her jacket behind her chair, though.
oh,
Okay. The other time it was the sunglasses on the head. Stacey, put your jacket on the jacket coat on the rack. Okay, please.
Damn, Joe, you hard on him, brother.
No,
You
well,
hard on 'em.
you want to know why?
Hard on 'em. You hard on
So
'em.
one night we went to Edwards. Okay, all right.
I went to Edwards
oh my
after that,
goodness.
Did you?
Oh my goodness.
and they was out of everything.
All right, and man, she made me pay for everything, and I was proud to do it. But she ordered stuff for other people at other tables. Okay, that's all. I had to say it, Stacey. I had to say it.
What? I do the same thing.
Damn it.
Kids to be able to go to, and like you said, I mean, racing
Oh,
doesn't
Justin,
last
no.
forever.
No.
But I do, like I said, I thank you for all you've done over this time, and I too thank you for giving us this opportunity. And I promise
Absolutely.
I'm done from there.
Councilperson Lovato, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor.
Carrie Lovato. She's the co-host on Monday mornings here on the show. Yeah. Let me tell you something about Carrie Lovato at this meeting.
okay.
She must have partied really hard Wednesday night. Okay.
just wanted to also say thank you. This is not in my ward, but it will directly affect the residents in my
And she's
ward.
great,
and they
Carrie.
will be able to utilize these services, so I really appreciate what you're doing.
You're very welcome.
She, though, she's not allowed to go on a lot of roller coasters because she doesn't meet the height
Oh
requirement.
my goodness.
And I feel bad for her because she's missing out on some good times.
Councilperson Marquis, you're recognized.
Thank you.
was me.
All right, so
I didn't
Just
know how
wanna
to
say-
start. I was so I don't know what's going on anymore.
Let me tell you something about this Amber Marquis, okay, for Ward 5. You got to reelect this lady.
Oh yeah.
All right, she does the most research out of anyone on this entire city council.
it's nice
I was
to
trying
meet
to
you.
last year.
Last year when we did the budgeting
Oh,
for
by the
this,
way,
I
by the
actually
way.
took a lot of flack.
did you not call the racetrack? We answered
I
the
did.
line
I called.
24/7.
I did. I called and called during that week. Nobody picked up. And then
That
there
is
was,
not. You must have been down the wrong number.
Yeah.
We answered the phone at 2:00
Yeah,
in the morning.
you were calling the Speedway gas station.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I get them
No
calls all
way.
the time.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I bet.
no. I'm telling you, I called. I even left messages, and I don't.
Justin.
I
I
never
don't.
heard
We
back.
don't.
so
We
at that
don't do
point, I just, like,
messages. We don't do. We answer the phone live. I do not
Yeah.
understand. I mean, honestly,
I don't-
the 645-2523 is answered 24/7.
Yeah, Amber.
Unless I'm on an airplane or something. But
Well, it was such a crazy week. I wasn't even sure if maybe it was that you guys just weren't answering your phones that week because of
No,
how crazy it was or what.
Or
But
that's
I
the
just
wife.
couldn't get
See,
through.
She's probably on the couch playing Monopoly. Or something.
Yeah, I just couldn't get through. And at that point, it's like, well, I don't know what else to do. I guess we'll figure it out when we get down there.
Well, I'm sorry, but honestly,
Yeah.
we do answer the phone. I mean, I've actually moved a light at a store because of, honest to God, true story. I was laying in bed one night, 4 in the morning. I want to say it was the new Speedway up on Trenton, and I want to say that. I don't know which one it was, but somebody called me and said one of the lights were bothering them. I said, oh, okay. I just hang tight a minute. Let me see if I can fix that. So
What do you mean one of the lights?
one of the lights.
Like
One
a
of the-
street light?
like a light in the parking lot.
Oh.
God's honest truth. I set the phone on my chest and
Uh-huh.
watching TV. I sat there for maybe 3 minutes and I said, hey, is that better? No. I said, hold on, let me try again.
No.
I put it back on my chest, sat there. I finally convinced this person I moved the light.
Yes.
I'm not lying. That's a true statement.
Well, as a DJ, I hear you. Oh, could you lower it? Sure. And I pretend to turn the dial down.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm doing it. I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden they give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
honestly, you can convince people to do things. You just gotta be in the
Okay.
right frame of mind.
I love it, William.
Yeah.
For
It-
trying to say that this was a mutual agreement. Because a lot of people were in an uproar, so I was
Yes.
trying to calm it down. And I did attempt to reach out to you, but I maybe the information I had was incorrect or something, and I just couldn't. So at that point, I just dropped it. It was just too much anger in the community, and I just
Believe it or not, the lady that caused the most wrath over this is becoming a decent friend now. She got death threats.
What is that story?
Yeah, so, she actually, she wanted to do a trunk or treat, which is another whole story of
Oh, I
the
bet.
cops called me because it's free.
Uh-huh.
So somehow her address got put out there and people was threatening this and that. Of course, I didn't know the lady at the time. I didn't get in the middle of it. I tried to stay out of it because the more you put in there, the worse it gets. That's why you don't see me on Facebook a lot.
Right.
But so she got threats and everything else. But then she finally come to me and I said, listen, when this thing happened, somebody at City Hall had told her this is going to happen, that's going to happen. She put that on her Facebook, and that's when it went downhill. I think she's actually the one that pretty much got it started. That's why I told the mayor, I said, listen, you can't do anything in this office without somebody leaking it. So let me do the appraisal. Let me do the phase 1 study. Let me do this. So I took on that deal and paid for it myself and done it all myself because I didn't need it getting out until we had a game plan. Not that that's even worked out, but
Chuck Golden. What's up, Chuck? How you doing? Most people who buy a house next to a racetrack don't know it's there until Friday or Saturday night. Like me, realtors don't tell you. Oh, I bet they do.
So you don't go check your area you're moving into? I mean, so you go to an airport and
How
they're
would
not
you
flying
know?
planes at 4 a.m.
Chuck, that's a fair point. That's a fair
Well,
point.
That is not a fair
No,
point.
on what you just said.
That is not a fair point on his thing.
You're a realtor, okay? It probably wanted to hide that fact, but yes, you definitely got to do your own research.
Yeah, well, that was actually a big thing during COVID when people from like New York, California were buying houses sight unseen. They just
Well,
called
that's
a
their
realtor,
fault.
and that was
That is their
that
fault.
Was,
Now
was
that we can
happening.
blame on them. But
Yeah.
you would research the area
You would think.
and you would make sure that what you're buying is, I mean, so you're going to buy a house and not do any research?
Pamela Adams, they actually don't care about what citizens want. It's what they want.
That's not correct.
what does that
either.
mean?
That's not correct either.
I think it's falling back into the people think that we're trying to run you out of town.
No,
and
no,
stuff,
it's
and
not.
that's- I
It's
think
not
that's
what you.
that
It's
is.
not that. That is not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Scott Phillips on this one. Sure, take one of the best things out of about Clarksville away and just build it up to make it into Nashville. No, see, that's the thing. Oh,
That's what we're trying to keep from.
right.
We're trying to keep from that. So.
I get why you stay off of Facebook and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I get it now, man.
Mind you, there's been multiple posts and articles going on Facebook.
Yeah.
Not one email have I received from people
Uh-huh.
saying anything official.
Right.
So.
At Ward, Ward 5, that's your neck of the woods. Like, right on the
I
border, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I border it.
That's in everything, and I
Yeah.
tried to keep everybody out of it because the problem with all this is you can't hardly do anything without everybody knowing it.
Yeah.
And we was trying to work out everything before we told everybody because we didn't have a plan. So when people put stuff out that's not correct, it's hard to manage it. So that's why I told him we need to announce this together and make sure that everybody understands we're going in the same direction. And my phone is I answer my phone 24/7.
Yeah, people.
Well, I
just
should say that it's done rung 4 times since I've been sitting here and I can't answer because I got
no,
my
no,
headphones on. So.
no. Put them on speaker.
No, you don't want to hear something that people's got to tell me. Trust
I
me.
love it. Is it complaints? Hey,
No, it won't be.
hey, I'm at the Speedway. Pump 12 ain't working.
trust me, when they call and ask the gas price, I do sell racing fuel. It's $12 a gallon. So don't call me at night and ask me what my gas prices are, because I'm going to tell you.
If you're looking for racing fuel, Clarksville Speedway, call them up.
And don't call and ask me if I sell cigarettes. I'm going to say, no, we sell weed.
That's right. That's
ask
right.
The counter, go to the counter and ask for weed.
Yeah.
I've said that a bunch. Weed behind the counter.
I bet
That's
people
what
have done
we
it.
I just tell them that because they're calling. How do you call the wrong place?
The Clarksville Speedway and the Speedway in Clarksville.
Yes.
Right, I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Anybody can call me. He's got my number. You can get him, get my number. I'll answer any questions, and I'll keep my base. I can give them a timeline, says I have a time. It's like, I don't know if Clarksville Now is here. They keep calling me. I go like, what do you want? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Are you the one calling me? No. I don't know what to tell. I still don't know what to tell people.
Watch out for them. Watch out for them, by the way. Yeah.
I don't know what to tell
giving you a
them. I
heads
said, I don't know. I don't know. They called the other day. What? No comment. I don't know what to say. So I don't know what to say until it's all in fine print.
Yes.
And we got a exit date. And like I said, it'll be a good day on one day, but it'll be a bad day when I got to leave. I'm going like, I don't know if I know how to do this. When I really don't know if I know how to do this.
You've never done it before.
No, I don't. I've got so much junk, so much things. I mean, and everybody asks, "What are you?" Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna think about it until we know exactly what's gonna happen. Because I don't need to clutter my time.
Yeah.
I haven't counted, but 300 events scheduled this year. 250 to 300 events scheduled at the Speedway right now. There it goes again.
Yeah.
He's so busy. I love it.
I have to have a calendar
Come on.
when I'm going out of town, when I'm in town, when I'm not in town, because I got so many things, and I can do multiple things at once. You know, so it's just that way.
Who is it? Who's calling? Is it the
Little
wife?
everybody.
Is she mad about the Monopoly
they're-
comment?
They're all at the restaurant waiting on me. So.
Oh, okay. We'll finish this up then. What restaurant? Do you know?
Actually, I got to look at the text on that.
You know what? Don't say it. Don't say it. People will show up with
I
protest
don't
signs.
care. It
No,
Don't
God.
sell. Don't sell.
For so long, you just don't know. So.
Yeah, I understand, and that's kind of why I was trying to contact you, because I wanted to see what your perspective was also, because obviously I only have one side and you're the other party involved. But it's good to
Hold an auction about a month before the exit date. Hold a piece of history-owned part of the Speedway.
No,
Yo.
what I'm hoping is that
Chris Early.
we have another announcement. We just take everything somewhere else.
Oh. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I would love to buy some of the Speedway. Absolutely.
You would not like it.
There's one toilet seat that I'm very fond of.
Well, I'm fixing to give away. And that's my first race. I give away toilets.
Let's do it.
I have people from Canada, Florida here.
I love it. It's about time to take a poop, eh?
hear from you and know what's going on now, all the details involved in this
This
case.
is more of my doing.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to know also.
I am more doing this because I am backed up in a corner with all the houses going around me.
Okay.
I know she talked about, I know how this can work down the road, and I've had a good. Even though she said I didn't have a problem with the curfew at all. I didn't. I really did. It needed it.
What time was the curfew?
1:30.
Okay.
I can go to 1:30.
It's not bad.
Well, I'm the only drag strip in the country that runs 2 shows on the same day,
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Oh, wow.
But I do that to keep them off the streets. So our first show is a bracket show, and I try to be done by 10:30 or 11, and I run what we call Midnight Madness, which goes to 1:30. And at 1:30, I haven't went past 1:30 yet.
Do you see the nonsense that's happening in Nashville with these street racers?
Well, the street racers are going to do that. That's why I do donuts. I have once a month. I let them do donuts in the parking lot.
Right.
I mean, I really have tried to clean up as doing much as we can. So.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job because we got it pretty good over here in Clarksville when it comes to all that nonsense.
But we still need to make sure that we can take care of some of that. So.
I get it. It's like having a purge for vehicles. Right.
I did want to ask you, since you know the racing community pretty well out here, and based on comments that people have made, do you think that that's going to be a problem here?
Yes, it will. It's a problem now.
Well,
Even though I'm open, it's still a problem.
There is an
It's
issue.
going to be a worse problem.
College Street. Right before College Street is, I don't know what's going on. I think it's a bunch of gangs, but yeah.
Well, the donut deal where they take over a parking lot and do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people get hurt. I was trying to, when I come up with some of the car clubs, I come up with a way to keep it safe in its controlled area and try to make sure, they got a safe place to do it. Because the last thing we want to do is see anybody hurt or anybody going down the drag or racing down the street. I mean, because they can come every Friday night and do it at the drag strip.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and my Midnight Madness deal is so much different than the bracket race. You just make laps.
Yeah.
You make run after run after run after run after run. You run your buddy, you run your mother, you run your dad. I don't care. It's just a different atmosphere. So when we come up with that game plan, I don't know how many years ago, I thought it was just a smart way to do it. Plus make money,
Yeah.
It is not cheap owning a racetrack.
Got to pay bills.
Insurance is just out the
Yeah.
nose.
Oh, I can imagine.
But I have it. I've been with the same people. I think I've been with 3 insurance companies since my whole time, and the only reason I left one is because he closed up. The next one, well, we won't even get into why I left that one, but it was not a bad deal. It was good. So the insurance company I got now, that's what they do. They do motorsports racing. It is 100% legit. Where a lot of racetracks don't do legit stuff, I promise you, I worry about that more than anything. Is making sure I'm covered on all bases to make sure that we got what we need when we need it.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing it for 20 plus years, making it happen. Justin Nichols, it's going to get way worse, assuming he's talking about when
Yes.
it will. No bikes versus cars in a drag race.
Well, some racetracks do that. Last thing I want to do is see somebody hurt. I'm not saying that's something I won't entertain, but I don't do it now.
Right. Ed Reynolds, don't let them shut the Speedway down because they decided to build right next to it. They did that here, and he's talking about in New York, and shut down Englishtown in Jersey. A historic track shut down because of yuppies.
Yeah. But that's not what's happening here.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not because-
And I've tried to tell everybody, this is more me
Mm-hmm.
than it's the city.
That's right.
The city is just riding along with this deal. It's more me than it is, and I tried to bring that out every time that somebody's asked me. I have never once said, "Hey, it's them on." It is not the case. I am 50. Did I say 57.
I love it.
I really 57. In 2 years, I'll be 59, 60, and at the rate I'm going, nobody understands. All they got to do is come stand beside me, and they will not last 2 hours.
That's right.
Because they just don't understand what it takes to do what I do and how I got to do it. And it's not about the easiest thing to do is after the gates are open. The hardest thing to do is get the gates open. But after the gates are open, it gets a lot easier till you got to open the gates again. Most people do not understand this. They don't understand what it takes. So we got a 2.5 hour show. We work 7 days to get a 2.5 hour show. Whether it's the drag strip or the stock car track, it's not as simple as just opening up the gate.
Right. It's all the prep that goes into
it. It's a
it.
lot of work that goes into that. And I know I keep harping on 8 days, but honestly, you just add the hours up. It's just a lot of hours.
Yeah. Real quick, just because that comment's up there.
This one right here?
No, the second one.
Okay.
The Mason Rudolph Golf Course.
Same thing with Mason Rudolph Golf Course.
Yeah,
Closed it since last year and say it isn't profitable anymore with only the driving range open and plan to turn it into a park. They will shut the track and it will be apartments in 5 years.
So real quick, just to give out some information on that, it's been shut down because
You couldn't get enough people to play.
Well, there's actually some safety concerns with the property. There's some sinkholes happening. And then with the profitability, there's something going on there, but the city is currently conducting a study with an engineer to fix those issues, to make it safe for people to get back on it.
Yeah.
And to give us the cost of what that would be. Depending on the cost, is when they will determine whether that will be feasible to do or to go another route to turn into an actual park or some other type of public facility. But it's not going to be apartments.
You know who nailed it in the comments there? John. My guess is some of you didn't even read the article. You just saw a headline and hopped on the assumption train. Please do better.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's like I see where they talked about the oil and all that. You know, the first thing we're always going to do is a phase 1 study. And you should have seen, I'm going to say this, and this is the way I took it. When I handed the mayor the letter that said we was a clean bill of health, it's like, really?
And I was going to ask you, because there were a couple of comments in there.
Oh,
Everybody's
here,
like,
sorry.
oh, well, there's no way they'll pass the environmental and the kids
That's already
shouldn't
been
play
done.
there.
Yeah.
It's already
That's
done.
been done.
Now, what about
Twice, not once, but
Yeah.
twice.
what about this one? Is the city going to hire additional employees to take care of additional parks and recreational
I mean,
facilities?
They would have to.
They would have to because this is a huge recreational facility that could potentially be going there.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we do mow a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. That's a lot of property you got out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, that bill too. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't get me started on bills.
Sorry. Sorry.
okay.
You're right. You're right, Will.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Because honestly, you got to have boundaries with everything. And I know down the road,
Will's mic up.
some point that it's going to be not feasible to do this.
Okay.
So, you know,
Look at that. Chris Early. I've changed my opinion on this. Will, I support you. Good for you, Chris Early.
at some point you have to.
He is actually a driver for country musicians, country music artists. Yeah, he's a hauler. He's a hauler.
Realize and understand where we are in the world, and I think I do that. And I think getting 2 years can get me through all the stuff and have the stuff built to do what we need to do. For
Right.
I think 23, 24.
Seriously, under consideration.
There we go. I think that was it.
William, thank you.
Yeah.
I
Here.
need a picture, a million or two tips.
Oh, you want to see the picture?
I never
you have
really-
it?
I didn't have my glasses on. Now
This
I
one?
have my glasses on,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Here, I'll
people-
zoom in.
It's not just a park. Everybody keeps saying it's a park, but it's a lot of stuff that's gonna.
Hold on, let me
go
take a picture of
on
that.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
With my phone.
Here, I'll send this to you. I'll text this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, text it.
Too easy.
It'll be fine.
Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. So you could see and zoom in the whole bit. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
You thought they would have shared that with me for now, but
Yeah.
You have never seen this. That's
I
interesting.
seen it Thursday night. The first time I seen it.
Oh, that's
I'm
messed
like,
up.
I couldn't see. It was so far away. You know,
Yeah. I saw it like a couple of days beforehand at a committee
they did a good
for
job.
the first
I'm
time.
Not,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All right. Well, I just sent it to your phone.
okay. So again, this is not just a park like everybody is saying. It's going to be an aquatic center. There's going to be gym, fitness. They're going to try to put like multiple fields out there for people to play different games outside. I know they want to do a walking trail and access to the Blueway, which everybody
go back
uses.
up here a little bit.
Where?
Hold on just a minute. Go back down. Go down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, it's just I was looking for something, but okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then
So this is Boy Scout Road over here.
yes,
Yeah.
that leads
Okay.
down to
Oh, okay,
the
got
Billy
it.
Dunlop Park.
So Tiny Town Road would be here. Here is
Need
no.
more.
Okay, I'm tracking now. Walking path along the Needmore Road, and this would include sidewalks too. I believe that's
yes,
what
I believe they said they'd be 5 feet.
5 feet.
each
5
side.
feet tall. That's
5
very
feet
tall.
wide.
Oh, okay, okay, that's much better. Much better.
Right.
But wow, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the alternate for the 7 million, right? Very cool. Hey, I learned a lot today, and hopefully, just like Chris Early, some people have actually just heard the whole story, and were able to make up their own minds and their own decision. Oh, look how happy she looks there. She's so happy to. She's such a fan of yours. She really is.
I just try to get all the information, but sometimes, like last year, it just wasn't available.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't even your fault. Again, I tried to get the
I
mayor's.
still don't understand. I'm gonna go back and yell at somebody on the
I'm telling you, I
non-answering
left
phone
messages.
because I don't do messages. You leave me a message, I'm gonna delete it. If I don't answer the phone, I will call you back.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Justin Nichols, Billy Dunlop is a great park, especially for swimming on a hot summer day.
Yeah, and they're trying to expand that because parking sucks.
Yep.
There's a lot of
Yep.
people out there, so they're hoping to
Trust
have
me, I
another
let them park
entrance.
on me all the time.
Oh, I
Just-
bet.
Just so they can, I don't have a problem with people parking up there and
Yeah.
walking down, but it's a long walk.
And what's nice about this gym and indoor aquatic center is because the one pool off of in New Prov,
That's not gonna come back.
right?
That's gone.
That
Yeah.
in that windstorm, right?
Yeah, the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone, and the cost of
But
it.
such a
is-
crap area too. It really was. I mean, if you're gonna be honest, it was such a that's a piss poor area. I hate to hang out in.
So yeah,
Not to
some
be
pe-
just
yeah, some
crap.
people who
Worried
did-
about my car every time.
Look, half the walking trail's already there.
True.
Yeah.
In
That's
the
true.
woods, it's already there.
And I love it.
I
out
already
here.
made that. I used to have an archery course there.
Are you gonna back out of the deal?
No, why would I back out? Not unless they,
All right.
Only way I'm gonna back out is if we don't have anywhere to do what we need to do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I've said this all along. It
Uh-huh.
has not been a hidden secret to me. The deal is done. If we can make sure that we got places, whether I do it or somebody else does it, you know.
oh, ATV races.
Well, that's a hard one to swallow there because it's
The rollovers?
no, you're going to get hurt. It ain't a matter if you're going to get hurt; it's when you're going to get hurt.
Ooh.
And insurance companies stay away from that. So
So
insurance world now is harder and harder to do. So that's why you've never seen me do one because it's not.
Even those trails, right? Those
You
ATV.
can't. It's just the liability's too much, so nobody wants to do it. So
Insurance, you're
Hey,
right.
trust me, I've been down every avenue I could be to bring revenue in, and I wanted to, but you can't control that. That's a no-no.
Wow. Well, I think you've said it all. Now, I'm sorry to keep your friends and family waiting
That's all right.
over there
I
for.
gotta go to the. I got
Is
it's a
it
bad
is it
day.
is it a reunion with the wife at Rafferty's?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. They're probably already done. They're probably mad at me.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
We eat
brother.
lunch together with the family every day.
Say that's what's up, man. I love it.
See,
Business
where
and
are you?
family, man.
You are 30 minutes late.
Tell him some Jersey guy wouldn't shut up. But yeah. So you heard it here first. You know, Will Scogin running for city mayor in the
my
near
goodness.
future. Okay. So yeah, we got that to look out for. I look forward to that, Will. Amber, you got anything before we get out of here?
no, just wanted people to hear a couple of extra points that maybe they missed because they got in their feelings. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a problem? Call me. I don't care.
Well,
I can explain it.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate not just coming on here and everything, but your vision for the city. I mean, this is home.
Yeah.
This is home. I appreciate
It is. I've lived here all my life. I ain't, lived anywhere else. So.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm Joe Padula,
I'm Evan Markey.
and that's Will Scogin. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you hanging out here today.
All right. Bye bye.
Absolutely.